You're placing the weight on the wrong end. The weight needs to be placed on you. And so the woman who is upset and wants the same level of compassion that I have for a male, what she doesn't understand is that the compassion that I have for the male is because the male is EU and he's totally incapable. He is mentally, psychologically, emotionally handicapped, and it ain't nothing you can do for him. That's where my compassion for males comes in at. If a woman want me to have that kind of compassion for her, what she actually wants me to do is to think that she EU just right along with him. She want me to think that she's incapable. And the moment that I think that you're incapable is that's the moment that I stop wasting all my energy trying to teach you something. I'm the queen maker. And when you make queens, you make somebody that's powerful. Only powerful people take responsibility.
I appreciate you for tuning in. The trigger warning. But in this video, I interviewed a woman that came forth telling her story within her own words on how Princella Clark, the Queen Maker, had violated her on a healing retreat. We need to start the conversation when women are the victim of other women taking advantage of them. Because these claims usually get swept under the rug. Same when a woman assaults a man. So we're gonna tap into this interview, and like I said, it's a trigger warning.
I told her no. We walked from the door to the parking lot. That 2 minutes ago, I told her no. Mm-hmm. And she still proceeded. And I was just like, why would you do this? Why would you have the message that men do X, Y, and Z and men do this, and then you come? I'm only able to recognize what she's talking about because she's doing it. On any of this. She just pulled my hair. She pulled it. She got up on me and she was like, "This what you want. This what you want." And we were walking away and she said it again. She was like, "Man, yeah, I should have never did this with her. Yeah, she too young. Dang, I wasn't even thinking. Like, I wasn't thinking I should have never did this."
Oh, so this manipulation game, because I think I asked you about this, and I'm thinking it was just like game, like psychology, but this is an actual physical card game.
Yeah, a game to teach women how to manipulate people. Yeah, I didn't know what that was. And she was like, "Yeah, girl, I happened to stretch and turn around and I seen them over there doing stuff. And the Maya's in the bed with them." Okay.
And the Maya, who was Maya? Because I heard you mention her name.
That's the daughter. That's her daughter.
That's the daughter. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So
is Crystal someone that she was just meeting just for the first time as well?
Mm-hmm.
And she was leaving her daughter with people she just met?
Yeah, she left her child with Jasmine and Crystal. Yep. I'm telling you, this trip showed me that her community is a cult. That was the first thing that I told my other business partners. I was like, "This is a cult, and we got to get the." Just want to be very clear that Princella the Queen Maker did essay me, as well as there are charges that are filed and there is an active warrant. Look out.
So thank you for like coming through. Give me a second.
Yeah, no, you good.
Thank you for like allowing me to help you share your story. And sometimes these type of topics they get looked over, and also it'd be hard for people to come out, no matter who's the predator in this case. So, but if anything get a bit too uncomfortable for you, we could pause, or we ain't have to discuss it. You know what I'm saying? But let's just get a little bit more information about you. Can you like tell the people about yourself and who you are?
Yeah, I want to thank you so much for just allowing a safe space. I appreciate that. I am Dana Fully Love. I am a professional singer, and I don't do stuff like this on my pages. And so I'm someone I'm a business person. I'm very strong-minded, and I think for myself. I'm also a leader, and I am a mother, as well as I have several jobs. So I'm just I call myself a good citizen. That's what I say. I'm a good citizen.
What inspired you to share your story today?
Well, I was always going to share the story. From the time that everything happened to where she started speaking on my name back in April when all of this first happened, I was like, okay, I'll share my story and I'll share it when I'm ready. Um, I continued to put it off, put it off, put it off. And I decided on a couple of days ago, I was like, yep, I'm just going to go record this and put my story out. And I'm still recording it as we speak. And yeah, I just decided to go ahead and come here today, answer any questions because a lot of people are speculating and all types of things, forming their own opinions, creating their own conclusions, whatever.
Okay, because I seen something when Princella Clark, the Queen Maker, was alluding to a person being this type of stalker. So I'm assuming that she was talking about you. So what type of relationship you and the Queen Maker actually had? Because most people might not know that y'all had a friendship and things like that. So can you expound on that? Like, how did y'all meet? What type of relationship that you had with her?
Oh yeah, so I'm just gonna say that she wasn't even a friend. She was just like a acquaintance, business partner, if you will, because everything was for business. I went in doing a one-on-one with her, um, just seeing what services that she offered. And that was when I was interested in, so I took that service. Now, the one-on-one, she did it in her car. I expected her to be at her computer, but I took whatever information she gave me. I initially did a one-on-one because I really wanted to work with her with music. Like I said, I'm a singer. And so that was the initial time I met. After that, in April, um, I was doing this travel agency thing. Like I said, I do a lot of different jobs. So I was doing this travel agency thing with the lady that was on the trip with us as well. So I was going to meet up with her right before I went and right after meeting up with Princella on the Real Life Street Stars Domino Effect. So she called me or texted me, I would say, on I was like April 4th, April 5th, something like that. And she said, "Are you able to go to Dallas?" And I was like, "Sure." And I had the feeling that she wanted me to watch Amaya. I don't know why that came in my head, but that's exactly what I felt. So I text Crystal and I was like, why do I feel like Princella want me to watch Amaya because she just invited me to go out to Dallas. And she was like, And so I was also told Jasmine about it because me and Jasmine are
And this
friends.
and this was the first time of for y'all actually meeting in person. Like, did y'all have any type of conversations beforehand and before y'all meeting up for this trip?
Yeah, so the trip wasn't even talked about at this time. At
Okay.
around April time, the April 4th-ish time when she asked me to go to the Blue Couch. So basically, what happened, what it led up to this was we would go to her book club, and one day I stayed after, and I think I spoke to her, me and Jasmine. We stayed after and spoke to her about our 501c3 that we were building. And so we've had several conversations with Princella outside of book club on our own Zoom calls. We got that recorded. So it's all literally all there. So um I would say prior to that we had like 4 or 5 conversations about building the 501c3. So it wasn't like, a whole bunch. Now there was this particular crazy phone call that I got from her. Um, I don't know what day this was exactly. I can't say. All I know it was a Friday because hospitals and stuff was closed. And I'm mentioning that because she called me and she said, "Hey, I know you know some people in the group, and I need a resource. I need a doctor, a psychiatrist, somebody that deals with mental health. or something of that nature, or some type of doctor, some type of nurse. And so Crystal is a nurse, so I call her. There's a couple other people in the group that I had wrote a message out in her community saying, "Hey, any people in here know any doctors, nurses? Anybody in here is a doctor or nurse, whatever the case is." So ended up calling her on three-way with Crystal. So me, her, Crystal on the phone, and then she has her brother on the phone as well. That was a very, very, very long phone call, and it was I'm not really trying to bring him into it. I'm just letting you know that that's the call that I got. It was a very, very long call dealing with her and her brother. Um, and it had to do with medical stuff. So not getting into that, but that's just what it was.
And so this was leading up to the trip. What type of trip were y'all expecting to go on? Like what was it supposed to be and where was it?
This trip was actually Crystal's birthday. Crystal was going to go by herself, and then she said that she might invite another employee that she works with, but the lady was kind of like iffy. And I was already going to Las Vegas during her trip time. Well, I had planned to go there. I hadn't bought my ticket yet. So um she asked me if I wanted to do the trip with her because I had just joined her travel agency team. And so we were just thinking about working together, to the point to where we would be intertwining our businesses. And I talked about this yesterday on my part two, how we would be intertwining our travel agencies, where she would do the healing aspect and I would do the trading aspect because Crystal trades as well. So it was more so a trip of Crystal, and I have a agenda of the trip that I made myself based on what Crystal gave me, and I'm going to post that tomorrow. But it was just the healing retreat where we just created it for ourselves so that we can brand it out to other women. You know, we were supposed to be recording what we were doing, editing it, taking photos. I was the only one taking photos. Jasmine brought a full blown camera and never brought that camera out on this trip. She brought a full camera to use so that we could do this stuff, but none of that stuff happened. So it's supposed to be me, Crystal, and Jasmine doing business as far as like taking photos. We're supposed to be working in a sense. And Princella, she was more so supposed to be just chilling, us catering to her in a sense of letting her refresh because we saw that she was going through stuff, whatever she was going through. We didn't really know because we wasn't really watching, if you will. So we
And
expected
this
it to be just four of us hanging out.
okay. Well, and what type of trip? So it was like a business trip, right? So leading up
Half,
to
half and half. It was half
okay.
business because us three had our own agenda and we were
Hmm.
doing it, you know, not only for Princella, but for all of us because
Hmm.
Crystal was going through some stuff. I wasn't really going through anything. I really just was wanting to. I've been on a healing journey for a while. So I'm always interested in some type of healing retreat. And we were doing crystal digging and we were doing a sound bath, which was cool. That was amazing. But you know, those types of things, I had never done those things before. So I was like, my thing was this trip was supposed to be us recording the stuff that we need to record. We make the videos and the marketing materials that we needed to make. Me and Jasmine were supposed to get headshots for ourselves. So we were supposed to find like a really nice area to take headshots with her camera. And so, yes, partial of it was work, and the other half of that was we were supposed to be doing the activities for healing, etc. So I just
So it
want to,
was a for the trip. It was like a healing retreat. For clarification,
yeah.
okay. And when did I guess you start seeing I guess a red flag within the Queen Maker or Princella Clark behavior on this trip? Because the incident it happened on the healing retreat. You would assume that you're going here to better yourself in the spiritual, mental, and the physical way, and not to expect to be violated. So when did the this 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 behavior of hers kind of like start? Was it I guess before the trip, during the trip? Like when did you kind of like had to take a mental note of her actions?
So day one, I got her hotel and she drove over to where I was and she stayed in the hotel. And then we linked up that morning and then we drove. So the first day it was just me driving by myself. And then we were to go pick up Jasmine in Little Rock. So day one. Day one, when we picked up Jasmine in Little Rock, we were sitting in a car and she asked me if Jasmine would let her suck her bosoms.
And Jasmine is, if correct me if I'm wrong, she's like about 20 years younger than what she is, almost 20 years younger than Princella.
She's 15 years younger than us because me and Priscilla are the same age.
Okay. Okay. So on the first day, she meeting this young woman, and she's speaking to you about her in an inappropriate way.
And she's like little sister to me because we had built that type of relationship. So when she said that, I was like, bro, didn't she just break up with somebody? Because I
Mhm.
remember seeing this Asian chick on the um video one time feeding her grapes.
Mhm.
And then I remember they broke up, and I know it wasn't too far off from that. It was like 2, 3 months off from that. So that was like what I thought about. And then I thought about, well, ain't she with B Taylor? Because I asked her about B Taylor at the Blue Couch, as well as on this trip, and she said they were still together. So I was really confused when she even said that.
So after that little incident happened with her mentioning trying to get active with this younger woman. Walk us through like the days, the day one, the day two. How many days did y'all stay on this retreat, and can you walk us through the days that you experienced it with her, and what led up to the event of her trying to violate you actually?
So basically, days leading on this trip was only like 3 days, 3 to 4 days. So, and I say that because we had a piece where we were driving early in the morning, so it just seemed like it was 2 days. I mean 4 days. So I'm gonna start that over. It was a 4 day type of deal with me and Princella being together, but 3 days on the actual retreat. Um, so if I could walk you through that, we started out like I said, driving over, not really overnight, it was early in the morning, so it was still nighttime. She talked about the sunset and then she went to sleep, and Amaya was already asleep. So we picked up Jazz and then she said what she said there. We went and ate Japanese food and it was really great. Came back and we played her manipulation game. This is not a subliminal game. This is a real game with actual cards, and you pick up three cards. It's 3 stacks of cards, and there's a person that's a scenario, and then there is 2 people. Right now, it's better to play with multiple people because the goal is to get people on your side.
Oh, so this manipulation game, because I think I asked you about this, and I'm thinking it was just like game, like psychology, but this is an actual physical card game.
Yeah, a game to teach women how to manipulate people. I when I saw
And this
Princella
something
play
she
this,
created.
yes, this is something that she created. This game is a game where there's a scenario that's given by a narrator. I was a narrator the first few times because I'm just not a manipulator like that, and so I'm not able to come up with stuff as fast. So this is also the delay as to why I'm even speaking, because if I come out speaking, I need time to think. I gotta process. I gotta do all types of things before I do stuff, but this lady was able to rattle off scenario after scenario on every card, every um communication characteristic, those different traits like negging, triangulation, anything like that. was gaslighting on the cards, that type of stuff. And they had other scenarios too on the card, like tell one of your opponent's teammates something about them so that they can come on your side. And she basically, when she was playing this game, I knew that I really messed up inviting her on this trip, because I saw the master manipulator in her. I was at the table sitting, they were on the bed on the edge, because we were looking at the cards. And I was just sitting back and, like, I ain't gonna lie, I was in awe that she was able to come up so quick with stuff. I was like, bro, she can lie about anything. The stuff was coming out so good that you would be like, you would think it was a real scenario.
Do you think that game that she plays, because that's not the first time I'm hearing about this game. Do you think the game that she plays with the her supporters or her friends that are connecting with her over the message that she preached, do you think that game is like a grooming tactic?
Oh yeah, I would definitely say that it definitely is in the grooming category. It's to, like I said, it's to help you to manipulate. I mean, manipulation is good in some areas, but like the way that she's using it in the game was like crazy. And this is what's going on right now. She's basically brought the game to real life. I feel like she's making me the example of the game right now.
Oh wow. So did I know we gonna lead up and you gonna talk about what she did done to you, but did you
Mm.
see any signs of her trying to push up on the, I guess, like the younger woman after she made that comment towards you? Like do you see like her, trying to gravitate towards her and actually uh
Yes.
basically get with her,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Basically not day one, because I went and told Jasmine what she said. And I was like, look, you're grown, okay? But if I were you, I would keep this business, because remember what we are here for. We're here to do other stuff. I said, I mean, get up, and I don't know how, but me and Jasmine got up at the same time, and we went to the other bed and we just, went to sleep. So that night I didn't see her pushing up on her or anything like that. When we got to Hot Springs and we started playing the game again, this is where the stalking comes in. This is when she says, she gives me a scenario. And guess what the scenario is? You're stalking her, and you got to figure out a way to get her a gift, and you got to do, some crazy things to go do it. She's giving a scenario. So I said, okay. And I'm thinking, because I'm like, I don't stalk people. I don't know what stalkers do. So she she was calling me crazy because I said, well, I would go dig in the trash, try to figure out if I could find her apartment, and then I'll go find her most favorite things that she likes and order them and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going through the scenario. So this is where the stalking came from. She took the stalking from the game. Y'all don't even understand. This is why I keep mentioning the game. This is a game to her. This is a game. And she's
Mm.
playing the game right now as we speak. So um after that, me and Crystal ended up going to Walmart, and I was like, "This, I don't think they need to be left together." Um, and I don't think Amaya was with us either. Amaya was not with us; she was there with her mom. And so, I bought Amaya a dress, and then when I was buying that dress, I was like, "Man, I know that something's going on right now. Like I could feel it." And so when we got back, I'm thinking like, "Oh, they're going to get up." They're going to get up and move around, scatter. No, no, no. Princella is laying right there in her boobs. They never move. And me and Crystal looking at each other like, what's going on? Like, we both looking at each other like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. That's how we both looking. So I'm looking at Jasmine because she's looking at me. I'm looking at her. I'm like, you gonna get up? I'm saying it with my eyes like,
Mm-hmm.
what's going on? You getting up? And so I believe that's where she was able to manipulate Jasmine during that time when they were left there alone.
And her daughter was there as well.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, yep.
So she basically having this behavior in a room
Yeah,
with.
there's even more worse behavior than that. So I mean, that night we were supposed to do our pain and sip, and we were getting ready to do that. Well, after we finished doing it, everybody, we done drunk wine, so now everybody kind of like lazy a little bit, and so her, Amaya, and Jasmine, they're all in one bed. Now me and Jasmine were supposed to be in that bed, Crystal in the other bed, and she's supposed to be in the room with her and Amaya. So Princella, Jasmine, and Amaya is all in one bed, and then so I had to end up going into the room, and I want to note that the room looked like a pigsty, and this is when I didn't. This is when I noted that I don't think Princella was in the army. I don't think she was in the military at all, because this room looks horrible. Like her stuff was everywhere. Um, I was like, I don't think she was. I don't know why that even popped in my brain, but that's what popped in my mind, that I don't think she'd been in the military because of that, just because of how that whole room looked. So I had to clean the bed off and get all their stuff out the way. And I kept hearing this bumping on the wall. Like it wasn't consistent. It was just like every now and then. So the next morning, Crystal comes in and she says, "Did you hear them last night?" And I was like, "Yeah, I didn't know what that was." And she was like, "Yeah, girl, I happened to stretch and turn around and I seen them over there doing stuff. And Amaya's in the bed with them." So I was like, okay,
And
I'm
the
gonna talk.
Maya, who's Maya? Because heard you mention her name. Who
That's the
Amaya's
daughter. That's her daughter.
that's the daughter. Okay, okay.
Hmm.
Oh
So I
man.
was, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna talk to them, because at first I wasn't gonna talk to them. I was only texting my other business partner, letting her know, like, bro, this is what happened, and I don't know what's about to happen now. I let her know I was very, very triggered, because I was like, this was not supposed to happen at all. Like none of this. And didn't picture the trip going this way at that point. So I was trying to journal it. I have the journal entry in my phone, because I was trying to journal it. And that was just not enough. So I had to call my girl, and she lives in Belgium. And she's another business partner of mine. And I was letting her know what was going on, because I had to vent to I had to tell somebody, like, hey, am I tripping? Or are you hearing what I'm hearing? Do you see what I see? Or are you putting down what I pick up? And she literally was picking all of it up. Like she saw all of it. She was like, yeah, that's not. She was like, you have to say something. I was like, I don't want to say anything, because I didn't come here for that. I didn't come here to be the boss, parent, what you want to call it, peak patrol. Like, I'm not the cops for you to do what you want to do, you know what I'm saying? But I just was like, I can't believe this was happening, especially based off of her message that she was putting out there. And it was just like I said in the first video, she was just giving male behavior, but not regular male behavior. They're giving that toxic male behavior.
What
So
what in her message made you gravitate to her?
it wasn't
Like
really it wasn't really like the message of like men are incapable of love. That's not the message that gravitate for me. What it more was for me was how she did her research, and how she displayed, like, she said this, and then here is data that's going along with what she said.
mm,
Those were the things that I gravitated toward, not necessarily the message of, the male bash and stuff and all that kind of stuff. Like, I have plenty of males that I'm around, and they don't do none of the stuff that she talks about. And we're all learning that the stuff that she was talking about is she's referring to herself and the men that maybe have treated her that way. So yes, it's a lot of the dude men out there. And when I say a lot, I'm gonna say a lot, because 90% of my experience has been with a lot of the toxic male type of thing. Like, you think they're one way, but when you really get to know them, it's like that. So
mm.
and sometimes it don't take a week to know it. Like with her, it took like 2 days. It doesn't take that long. So You know, you can find out toxicity in people without her message per se, if you will, because I was doing it well before. Um, I found her online.
Hmm. Okay. And when you're ready, can you explain the experience that happened with you from Princella?
When you say you mean like the actual assault?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll say this one part that before I go into what happened to me. So basically, that morning when Crystal came in there, I told Princella, like, hey, um, Crystal saw y'all last night, and I actually heard the wall being bumped a couple times, and I didn't know what was going on, but she saw y'all and heard y'all, and I was like, I don't want her to be uncomfortable on this trip. That's not what we're here for. We're not here for hooking up. We're here for healing. So I was like, so today, if you want to hang out with Crystal, you and Crystal can sit in the back. I mean, you and Crystal can sit in the back. I mean, scratch that. I told her, I said, so today you can hang out with Jasmine, and I'll hang out with Crystal will hang out with Jasmine, and I will hang out with you and Amaya. So when we're in a car, just sit with me. Just let's be back on cordial times. And I also told Jasmine the same thing. And so when we got ready to go to the casino to celebrate Crystal's birthday, we get there and we're axe throwing. And during that time, me and Jazz, we just dancing, like, we're fine. And Princella was looking like really sad, almost jealous. I don't know why though. I don't know why she had the jealousy. Going into the casino, we heard her say to somebody on the phone before we got in, something like, I don't know if I like them or something like that. And Crystal was like, did you hear what she said? And I was like, yeah, I definitely heard what she said. And I said, but we don't know what she was talking about. We don't know what she was saying it to. So I said, I'm just going to not say nothing because I don't know what she's talking about. So after we were throwing axes a few times and she was looking all sad, I said, Princella, you're not dancing with us, you want somebody to dance with you? And I was like, you don't want to dance with us? And so she kind of like didn't dance, so I started dancing like right next to her, and she started smiling a little bit, like she was, I guess, that lifted her spirits or whatever. So we kept throwing axes, and next thing I know, she comes up behind me when it's time when I retrieve the axe, and she just, it was out of nowhere, like nothing brought on any of this. She just pulled my hair, she pulled it, she got up on me, and she was like, "This what you want? This what you want?" And I was like, what? Like, so many things were going through my mind, and when I am in some type of shock situation, I don't say anything. Like I just start thinking. It's like a "that's so Raven" moment, if you will. And I moved away from her, like, oh, because she's giving off male behavior, that toxic male behavior. I was like, just as aggressive as I thought it would be. And so Crystal, she was like, what is that about? Like, what was that all about? I was like, I don't know. I said, I didn't do anything to ask for any of that. I'm not really sure why she did that. I don't know why that happened. A few minutes later, she asked to get the keys to go to the car, and then she actually went out, and then we went after her, like maybe 10-15 minutes later, and dropped off Maya, Jasmine, and Crystal, because Amaya couldn't go back and gamble with us. She couldn't go into the casino portion. Crystal wanted to go back and read a book, so she went back and read a book, and Priscilla
And
wanted to
and
go back
is
to the,
Crystal? I'm sorry for cutting you off. Is Crystal someone one that she was just meeting,
she
just
just
for the
met all.
first time as well,
Mm-hmm.
and, and she
First
was
time
leaving
meeting
her
them.
daughter with people she just met?
Yeah, she left her child with Jasmine and Crystal. Yep.
And to clarify, we talked off camera. You're not into women.
No, I'm not. I've never dated a woman ever.
So for her to come up there and grab you by your hair, basically trying to be seductive, it was unwarranted. In just for the simple fact you not into women to even for a woman to even think it's cool to do that.
Right.
So after this situation, what happened next?
I brushed that off and we go back to the casino. Um, I don't know why she started acting like real military. She was standing in the military stands and all kind of stuff. I don't know why she was acting like that, but um, it's almost like she put this mask on. But when we got back to the casino, we talked in the car for 30 minutes and we were talking about everything. The conversation was all over the place. Um, um, we got out the car and went back inside, and then we went to the bar, and then we started talking about Jasmine. She asked me, she was like, so why you don't want me to talk to Jasmine? And I was like, it's not that I don't want you to talk to her. It's more so how you're doing it. Like it's how it's being done. I was like, you can use a little bit more tact and do this outside of this. I said, but me, if it was a 23-year-old boy, I'm 15 years older. I'm not dating a 23-year-old boy. That's just way too close to my son's age. So I'm not doing it. So um she was sitting there. I don't know, maybe something hit her. She was like, oh man, yeah, I should have never did this. I should have never did this. I should have just been quiet, stayed by myself. I should have just been. And I was like, she was like, yeah, she is young and she might still be a little childish a little bit in some areas. And I was like, well, I was like, she's pretty mature when she's around us, me and the other business partners. I was like, but she is still learning herself, et cetera, et cetera. So we were talking about that. And she said, man, well, uh, dang, can you apologize to her on my behalf? And I was like, no, yes, no, why? Like, what am I apologizing for? What are we apologizing for? And she was like, well, I think I want to do it one more time. I said, what? You want to do it one more time? I said, you know what one more time means? That means you gonna keep doing this over and over again. Like, why would you say that? I think I want to do it one more time before the trip is over. And I'm just like,
And
why?
this is at the healing retreat.
This is at the casino after the
Hmm.
hair pulling. Yeah. So this is at the healing retreat that she won.
Hmm.
Well, were you talking about the conversation or just in general?
Just in general.
Okay, this is at the healing retreat. So yeah, I'm just not understanding why. And then also, I wasn't understanding why she was pulling my hair and saying this is what you want when she was trying to talk to my friend. I just couldn't put all that together. Then we were walking away and she said it again. She was like, man, yeah, I should have never did this with her. Yeah, she too young. Dang. I wasn't even thinking. Like, I wasn't thinking I should have never did this. And she was like, but I do want to do it one more time though. So make sure you apologize to her for me and then just let her know I want to do it one more time. I low key like was so disgusted because it was just giving like I just want to use her for this moment. And I just did not like that at all. I was like, why is she um so we ended up going downstairs because we were looking for a restaurant, but we couldn't find one. So we went to a restaurant downstairs, and outside the door is when she asked me when we were getting ready to leave out. She said, do you want some more aggression? I was like, more aggression? What are you talking about? And then she was like, some more aggression. And I was like, I said, no, I don't practice my no for all of y'all. And we proceeded to walk to the car. I had an SUV, so um, at this time when we walked to the car, she goes, I think I forgot something in the trunk. So I popped the trunk because I was like, I don't think there's anything in there. I remember getting everything out, but I was like, well, maybe she put something else in there. I don't know. So I go and I open the trunk, and she's walking behind me, and she pushes me forward. And then that's when she starts to do her violation act. And I was just, again, in shock. And I was just like, are you really doing this right now? It was like something snapped in me to say something. And she stopped. And then immediately after that, she said, I got kicked out of the strip club for doing stuff like this. I was like, what? It was just a lot to process because I wasn't in like danger, like, oh, somebody help me, save me. It was just more so like somebody just putting their hands on you and you're wondering why they're doing what they're doing. You know, like somebody come up and just grab your boob, or somebody come up and grab your butt, and you don't really know them, or you're not at that level yet. I mean, I've had guys that I've met before, they just they've taken my hand and just put it on their area before. We're not even there yet. That's, to me, that's a violation.
And that's that gave you the same feeling, like you just described a
Same.
guy, that same feeling of, yeah, you violated me, in a way of, I didn't ask for this.
That.
And then when I tell you I don't want no more aggression, you still proceed to
Hit me.
later down in the day to attempt to
No,
force
no,
yourself upon me.
not later on, baby. That was 2 minutes prior to.
Hmm.
That was me. I told her no at the door. This is why I was very specific to say, coming out of the casino, at
Hmm.
that door, I told her no. We walked from the door to the parking lot. That 2 minutes ago, I told her no.
Hmm.
And she still proceeded. And I was just like, why would you do this? Why would you have the message that men do X, Y, and Z, and men do this, and then you come? I'm only able to recognize what she's talking about because she's doing it.
Hmm.
That's why I'm able to say, like, this is straight male behavior that she talked about. This is the same behavior that she literally talks about.
Man, were you able to register in that moment that you being sexually assaulted?
No, not at that moment. I wasn't able to register it because it didn't dawn on me that that's what had happened. Um, I was very shocked. I think I was more in the mind of still trying to protect Jasmine. Like, I was like, when I get
Mm.
back to talk to Jasmine, let her know what happened, and let her know what she said, and hopefully this will keep Jasmine away for the rest of the night. Maybe Jasmine was like, I can't breathe, and she went right outside with Princella.
Mm.
When I told her that, it was
Mm.
like for me, I call it the hyper admiration complex. That's what I call it, because she basically is in love with her leader teacher, and she's like supposed to be the student, and it's hyper admiration. Like,
Mm.
baby, she was like, I don't, you ain't got to protect me. And when she did that, I was like, cut off, just
Mhm.
cut off trying to stop them from doing whatever they trying to do, and just let them do it, because you already see what it is, and you see she not your business partner, really ain't there for what y'all got going on.
Yeah.
So since she's not there for that, and the other lady, it just won't stop trying to mess with her, as she told you at the casino, just go ahead and leave them alone. So on that night, and now Crystal, she sleeps, so she don't know nothing that's going on. um so I get back, they stay outside the whole time. She called some dude when we got in the car after she did what she did to me. She told me about how she got kicked out the strip club because she was doing the same type of behavior to women in the strip club. So they kicked her out of a Houston strip club and she can't go back there. She's banned. So she told me that, and then she immediately got on the phone with some dude and started talking to him. Then she stayed outside with Amaya because Amaya was still up. It was like 12 o'clock. She was still up. Even one of the messages that receipts, it says it on there, like, this girl is still up. That's what she said. This girl's still up. But Princella was outside, Maya was outside, and Jasmine was in a room, and I went in there and talked to her when we got back. And she was saying the same thing. And when I said hyper admiration, she was saying like maybe she was like, what's unhealthy? Oh, what did she say? She said, what is unhealthy admiration or admiring somebody, something on those lines. What's unhealthy about, when does it become unhealthy? And so I kind of talked to her about that a little bit. Can't remember everything that I said because I have deleted so much from my mind. There's just things that you can't forget though. And so after telling her that she bent me over in the trunk and she basically violated me in the trunk, that's when Jasmine got up and she like grabbed her chest like, I gotta go get some air. So she went outside with Princella and Amaya. So
So you
then
actually confronted her over what she did?
I didn't confront Princella. I told Jasmine what Princella
Mm-hmm.
did. So that way
Mm-hmm.
that she could know this girl is over here acting like, let me see if I can get all the girls on the trip.
Yeah.
Or let me try this one too. And I'm just like, no, that's not what's going down because I already told you that this is not hooking up. So why are you still trying to hook up? And you're supposed to be the leader.
It's it
You're
sounds
supposed
like it sounds like to me that she is preying on the people that actually maybe admire some of the work that she does, uh, taking some of her courses, being in the book club, like all these people that's coming to her for some type of guidance and help. She's actually being a predator and basically preying on people and women, uh, um just like I don't want to say trauma, but like it's almost like she preying on the fact that these women are trying to grow and they have certain areas in their life that might exude trauma. And she knows this. This is why the manipulation game is something she likes to play. It's a
mm-hmm.
it's a game in my eyes of a grooming tactic to suppress her tactics. Because once she starts to do it in real life, then these girls, these women, they're not really understanding the fact that this woman has groomed you and preyed on you. In the B Taylor situation, and I said people would try to make fun of her about she's being at this particular age and being groomed to it. I said when somebody is looking for a savior, I have this savior complex in certain individuals. That individual can 9 times out of 10 implant psychological traps or things within them for them to ignore all the red signs, because it's like you come into this person uh open heartedly, you know what I'm saying, open mindedly, and they speak against certain traumas and shit that you go through, and the fact that they entrust her, they can't see the veil. It's like a veil is now being over their eyes with this woman because they didn't put so much money into it. They didn't consume so many of the hours of teachings, and they have joined a book
Mm-hmm.
club. They have been on trips. They did done all this, and they don't recognize that it's a whole plan for her to like damn near take over y'all mind. Like,
Yeah,
and if you
literally.
don't see it, then if you're not there, then we all will be judging. Cause I gave a little
That's
criticism too. So it's just like this is what a cult looks like. This a
man. Say
cult
it
leader.
again.
They
Say it
they are
again.
ingenious.
I'm
And
telling you, this trip showed me that her community is a cult. That was the first thing that I told my other business partners. I was like, this is a cult and we got to get the fuck out. I don't know if I can say that, but but yeah, we got to get out. So when we realized that we was in a cult, we was like, we went, when I say every single video that I liked, every comment that I ever wrote, if I went and took everything, anything that I could find, gone. Gone.
let me think. Is there anything else that you want to?
I want to talk about Crystal and how she manipulated her as well.
Okay.
So with Crystal, Crystal wants to be relevant. And she's always given that to me from the time we started building our 501c3. So she came in there, like I said, and told me, like, did you see them? You know, I'm uncomfortable, yada, yada, yada. And then the next day I told her what she did to me, and she was like, oh my God, she was like, that's not what we're not here for any of that. Like, she shouldn't have did that. And then we went to go do crystal digging. Now, mind you, that morning I had sent a text to Jasmine because I told her that me and her, our sleeping arrangement would go back to normal. Maya and Priscilla would go in the room, and then we would go back into the living room. I had told them that earlier in the day, right? So they come into the room, they come back in from outside, and Priscilla just goes right back into the bed that we were supposed to be in. I was like, no, I'm sleeping there. And so they get up and she goes into her room, and then Jasmine goes right behind them. And that's why I was like, I'm not saying nothing else to them. So I got a call that morning. My mom got admitted into the hospital, and Jasmine, she came in there and laid in the bed with me that morning. And I was like, it's too late now, bro. Like, it's too late. And I was telling her that my mom was in the hospital. I was like, I talked to my mom, and I was like, we're gonna go do the crystal digging, right? And so instead of her getting up and getting ready, she went back in there and laid down with Priscilla. So I told Chris, I was like, let's go. Let's just leave them here. I already told them. I texted when I got in the car. I was like, are y'all coming or what? I was like, let's just go, because we had already missed it the day before. So they end up taking a lift or something over to the thing. Now, mind you, at the end of the day, we had some more activities to where we were going to the spa. That was a part of the healing. And we couldn't go all at the same time because we had Amaya. So she didn't want to use the babysitting service that we were going to use for her, so that we all could go to the spa at the same time. So it was Crystal and Priscilla that was supposed to go, and me and Jasmine that was supposed to go later on. So Crystal and Princella go. So me and Crystal are sitting in the car during crystal digging because we're getting ready to leave. They call us like, hey, we just made it here. We never saw them come, like we never seen them. They actually went down there and started digging while we were sitting in the car waiting. Like, we're just sitting there waiting, like, where they at? Where they at? And so I'm like, me and Crystal were talking, and Crystal was like, I can't believe that she did this and X, Y, and Z and blase blase. It was like, I don't want to go to the spa with her, yada yada. And I said, I don't want to go to the spa with her either. Shit, the stuff that she done did to me, I'm not going to the spa with her. And so I said, okay, Crystal, do this. Go to the spa with her, see what you can find out as to why she acting the way she acting, or go find out like more information as to, why she, just go talk to her. And she was like, okay, I'll talk to her, blah, blah, blah. Baby, Priscilla done went to that spa and manipulated the hell out of Crystal. Crystal came back because we had a meeting after me and Jazz had a Maya. So when they came back, I didn't know that they went to go do a tarot reading. Now, people don't know, Priscilla's obsessed with tarot readings. She probably
What's a tarot
spent
reading?
the cards.
Oh,
The
the tarot
card.
card readings. Okay, like the
Yeah.
psychic stuff. Okay.
Yeah, the psychic stuff. She's obsessed with that stuff. She spends so much money on that. Um, she does a lot of it. And she really believes what is being said. It's kind of like, I mean, you could decipher through some of it, but she really believes what's being said. So I didn't know that her and Crystal went and did that. See, this is where that manipulation stuff probably came into play, and her trying to get her on her side because Crystal hadn't played the game, none of that stuff. So Crystal came back from the spa and she was like, it was good. I asked her if they talked, and she was like, yeah. She said, I just realized I might have been tripping a little bit. I was like, what? I was like, what are you talking about? She was like, they grown, they can do what they want to do, blah, 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 blah. But just a few minutes ago, you were uncomfortable. I said, wow, she got to her. And so we had a meeting when we came back. And Priscilla, she put on her little military hat because she wanted to be, the boss, if you will.
Yeah.
And so she's in her military stance, and she's like, "So we're going to have a conversation." And the conversation was like us having a conversation about what was transpiring on the trip, and her and Jasmine. And she was like, "I've taken now she's having a conversation with us. I like her, and I think I want to." Talk to her more, but she basically at this time was basically trying to give validation as to why she should be able to mess with Jasmine while she was on this trip.
Hmm.
And in my mind, I'm like, why would anybody say these words out of their mouth out loud? Like, you're not looking to get to know her at all. You're just looking to be physical with her. You're not looking to build anything with her. You're not looking to say, hey, maybe we can work together on this. You're literally saying, I should have access to her body. That's literally the whole conversation that she was given, is that she should basically, I'm teaching her things. She feels like the things that I've given her were valuable. So I do, I should be able to, have my way with her. What? Did you just say that out loud? Like, I was so disgusted with this conversation. Then I saw all three of them trying to gang up on me. And they wasn't. I just saw it. I saw everything. I saw our business crumbling down. I saw them three conspiring against me. I saw it all. I told Chris, I said, I ain't gonna be able to work with them. So I'm not gonna be able to work with them at all.
And taking a step to come out and speak against somebody that actually just didn't abuse you in multiple ways, because you try to do it mentally, physically, attempt the mental or the psychological abuse, and actually physically. So taking a big step to coming out and speak of it is one thing, and I commend you as well. But have you taken any other steps that might hold Princella accountable for her actions that day?
Yeah, I did. So I I went into, like, for 2 weeks, like, a really deep thought, because I'm not gonna say it was depression, because I wasn't completely in a place of downness, if you will. It was just so much thinking, and what I was what should I do next? Like, what actually happened to me? And then I was like thinking, I was like, I wouldn't even let dudes do nothing to me like this. I was like, she sexually assaulted me. And so in those 2 weeks, I filed a police report with the Hot Springs Police Department, and I gave what happened to me, and then they started to do an investigation.
Wow, man, where do we go from here?
We warn others, and we stop her the best way that we can. If it takes more people coming out against her, if it takes her going to jail, she gotta be stopped. Matter of fact, it's so many people like Princella. A lot of them are males, but there are a lot of women that are like her, and I'm seeing it. Her community is horrible because they're cult followers. So you have a woman like Jim 8269 who comes to Kulu's live and says, "Isn't this Princella's girlfriend stalker?" Now, after that trip, she joined our Forex group while on the trip, and after that trip, she we were to talk, because I wanted to keep everything between us, because I wasn't going to go out talking about what happened on this trip to the people in the group. I was just going to keep it between us. So I was going to have NDAs for us to sign when we got back. We'll just do a Zoom, just to for her to feel the security that I'm not even about to say nothing about this at all. So we get on the Zoom call and everything done flipped. They up here talking. I mean, Princella was talking cash money shit about me on the trip. She was like, I think you're really nice. I think you're bright. I think you have a lot of talent. I think you're very business smart. I think you're this. But on this call, oh, she was talking about something else. And we will be posting that call. We will have that Zoom call as well. I was very emotional on the call because Jasmine, who was supposed to be my friend, just concocted a whole story with her. And you could tell she was reading off the notes. She had been taking notes. Normally, we talk all the time. Me, her, and my other two business partners, we talk all the time. We would have been on FaceTime all together that night. But no. She was on the phone with Princella. They were coming up with their story on what they were going to say on the Zoom call. Oh, the allergies is allergying today. Ooh, nose itching. So on this Zoom call, they flipped everything on me. Crystal, Jasmine, Princella, Crystal, she's like, she was like, I've had enough of you, and I've actually let you get away with X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, bitch, what the fuck I done got away with? What have I gotten away with you? Because last I checked, I sent you $150 to come on this trip that you were supposed to be paying me back for. I said, I opened up a trading account with you that you were supposed to be sending me the credentials and the money back for. So I'm trying to figure out where you fed up with me.
It sound like when you was analyzing the behavior of Princella the Queen Maker, you was try to forewarn Jasmine and also Crystal, but what they did was went behind your back and told Princella the things that you were telling them to be mindful of. So within her tactics of getting and gaining people on her side, aka the manipulation game,
You
it was
got it, because
easy
it
for
don't
them to get.
take a rocket science. You got
Yeah,
it.
it was easy for them to pile up on you and make you look like you was the bad guy or you was tripping when you seen it from the jump and was warning the girl from the jump. Hey, I don't think, let's just keep it business. They don't see it, but you seen it, and it's gonna take. See, it's gonna take more people like you to call this shit straight. To call it straight. You feel me? And that's no point intended because you're a straight woman. So it's easy for you to see the behavior.
Clock it, bro. Clock it, because you cooking. You cooking right now. No, everything you said is facts. Like, I seen it and I was like, bro, this is bad. This is bad. This Michael Jackson bad. It's bad.
Mm.
And I didn't want it to be this bad. I wanted us to still be able to be cordial. I was just going to dismiss myself and be done. But
Because
go ahead.
oh no, you can finish. You can finish.
Oh, but when we got on that call and I just hit the switch. Oh, wrong girl. We didn't even make it to the NDAs because the girl that I was texting, the Belgium girl, baby, she must have read Princella all her rights on that call. Princella was mad. She was pissed because my business partner was reading her rights on that call, on that Zoom call. She was very defensive, gaslighting, etc. It was just them concocting the story. Like I said, I was very emotional on that call because they wanted to sit up here and gaslight the situation. Amun was like, "So how was the trip for you, Priscilla?" Oh, I mean, Jasmine. The trip was great. It was wonderful. I had a good time. How was the trip for you, Priscilla? It was great. We did what we needed to do. It was great. We collected the data. We did what we needed to do. Crystal, how was the trip? Oh, it was great. That all this gaslighting. Why y'all gaslighting right now? Y'all playing the game? Y'all got the gaslighting card? Because literally Moon know everything that happened because I told y'all on the trip. I talked to Moon. I needed somebody to vent to. So I talked to Moon about why I was triggered about this. I let y'all know I'm triggered about this situation right here. So we need to go ahead and scale it back. I don't know why y'all acting surprised. I told y'all I talked to her. I told y'all that we were going to do an NDA all together. So why are y'all acting like this? And so, yeah, one of the other business partners called Jasmine after this, because that was when, after this Zoom call, I'm gonna tell you how these women in this community treated me. And that's why I don't care what message right now. There's no such thing as a women community or a girl code. Just get that out your mind. It doesn't exist and it never will exist ever. Okay? These women, they didn't ask me not one question. The women from the community, Princella was in my group, in my Forex group, where I was teaching women to trade. She said, if y'all stay in this group with her, y'all might as well just consider yourself X'd out of being in my group, in my community. She went in her group and said, anybody associated with this person, go ahead and delete them, because if we find out you're still talking to them, you're going to be kicked out too. When I tell you, those women left me so fast. Didn't ask a motherfucking question. They left immediately. There was a few that asked some questions. And I was like, oh, okay.
As well. But do you have any like just encouraging words, and where you at mentally in this space after this incident, and what do you want women to realize about Princella Clark, the Queen Maker?
The encouraging words that I have is you're gonna have to stand on business in 2025. You're gonna have to stand on, if you see a red flag, you're going to have to go ahead and dismiss whatever that red flag is, where it's coming from, the energy of it. I want women to really, really pay attention to who they're following. Even if it is another woman, pay attention. You do not know who you're following. Everybody can just be online, speaking, saying what they're saying, and in the background living a whole nother life. So I would say words of encouragement is, it's okay that, you've been through some things in your life, and you don't have to go find a group to trauma bond with these people. You can find your way, get you a therapist, go to counseling. They have stuff online on apps, and just make room for yourself and center yourself. Um, I want women to know that are even thinking about following her, just don't do it. It don't even make sense, because right now her message is whack. Like, she done flipped the switch, and now she's pandering to men, because she want an amen for men now, because Ken isn't in her ear anymore giving her stuff to say. So now, since she's not talking to a man on a regular, now she wants to talk to me all the time. Oh God. She just want to be a male, and I would just stay away from this one. This person is not who you think it is. I would not even waste the time in subscribing to anything that she has, because she's a fraud. She's a liar. She's a gaslighter. She's a master, heavy on master manipulator. She's a master manipulator. She got a degree in it.
See, thank you for speaking with me, and telling your story, man. And I hope and encourage more women to call out whoever they goddamn abuser is, whoever is doing wrong. Cause I keep saying, 2025 is the year of prosecution. Anybody that is doing anything wrong to people will be exposed. It's we going back to authenticity. We're going back to being more organic. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you for speaking with me. And if whatever you need to get your voice out and be heard, I'm with you. And a lot more people about to be with you as well. So I thank you.
I appreciate it, and God don't play about me. So everybody gonna get what they get in the end. So, and the allegations of being a stalker is defamation, and there will be another civil suit coming soon.